everyone. My name is Zenith Mwanga Hamambamalo, and I am the host of Assorted Immigrant Stories podcast. Today, here in the US, it's Memorial Day, and in Zambia and across Africa, today is Africa Day or Africa Freedom Day. Now, fun fact, when I first came to the US in my very first semester, I actually thought about joining the armed forces. I was just hit with the reality of international student life. Let me put it that way, because I realized then that I was going to pay 4 times the amount that everybody else was paying. And I thought, how is that even possible on top of having restrictions? Because when I got here, that's when it really hit that, oh, I can only work on campus 20 hours a week for $3.75 an hour. And I remember I had maybe 9 hours in the cafeteria, my very first paycheck, $18. And I was like, what? I was so shocked. And I remember trying to think of ways that would help me pay in-state tuition. So I was asking around, and every now and then, and now when I look back, I wonder if there were just different companies recruiting people, because there'll be just people in the school and there'll be stands everywhere. And I remember on one of those days I went, could have been like Careers Day or something like that. And there was a table and it was the military. And I started to think, okay, maybe if I join the military, I can pay in-state. And I got the papers. I never went through with it. Anyway, since it's Memorial Day, I would like to take the time to honor the men and women who gave their lives to service. We thank you for your sacrifice. And because it's Africa Day, I felt like it's the perfect time to talk about books. One thing I really love doing on Assorted Immigrant Stories on both the podcast and the social media platforms is to share books that connect with the stories and conversations that we have on the podcast. And to be honest, books give language to the things people can't speak about. No lie. When you come to America, sometimes you might go through things that you just don't want to talk about. And it could be because of shame or implications or any other reason. But the books go there. That's why I recommend them. And it's so funny. When I started buying books on my own, I was probably 18 or 19. And there was a little bookstore in Chingola where I'd go buy books. And I'd be looking for books by Sidney Sheldon or Stephen King. I wasn't even considering Zambian literature or African literature. The very first time I read an African literature book, like fiction, it was Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe, and it was part of an elective African American literature, and it was one of the books. And like, it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Like, what a shame. Shame on me. It shouldn't be like that. Shame on me. Shame on me. But listen, I've never looked back. Okay? So, and the goal is not only to share African books, the goal is also to share other books. It's just that most books I've read that speak to the coming to America journey are by African authors, but I have a collection of others as well. But because it's Africa Day, I'm sharing the ones by African authors. Well, they're the majority that I have. And let me tell you, African fiction, the stories, it's layered. It is rich and layered. So, in honor of Africa Day, I want to share the books I've shared on the podcast so far. And then this is just my little haul for the last couple of months. Just a little one. By the way, I buy my books on thriftbooks.com, or is it Ade Books? But they're all used books because I'm not trying to spend a lot of money, okay? So these are the books I've shared on the podcast. Not in this order, but this is just what I put together. My Parents' Marriage by Nana Ekwa Hammond Brew. She is Ghanaian. This is Bitter Honey by Lola Akinmed. Why do I think her last name is different? But anyway, and this book is sort of based in Sweden. And I did share in one of the episodes. By the way, if you can listen to my podcast season 2, episode 1, where I talk about the books a little bit. I just give a brief description of each of them, the ones I've shared so far, or the ones I shared up until the time I recorded the episode, and have had a few book-centered episodes, and I'll share with you which ones. So this one is based in Sweden, and my dad did his advanced studies in Sweden. So I was very curious because I would have loved to have those conversations with him and just ask him what it was like. Yeah. Okay, this is the very first book I bought. It's Kinship by the late Philippe Wamba. His dad was Congolese and mom American, and just documents his story. Not being enough everywhere. You go to Africa and you're not African enough. You're in the US and you're not American enough. So that's what this book is about. The tiny things are heavier. Actually, I think I just recently shared this book. Well, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. That's what I mean by recently. Behold the Dreamers. Behold the Dreamers. I recorded a book-centered episode with Stella. Let me tell you, this book has everything. Being an international student, being a visitor, papers running out, filing for asylum, immigration lawyer, being a maid, it has it all. It's by Mbolo Mbue, and she is from Cameroon. I'm telling you, this book, it has everything. Homegoing by, I don't know whether it's Jassy or Gyasi, but she's Ghanaian. Let me tell you, this book is a masterpiece, okay? 2 sisters, one remains in Africa, the other is taken as a slave. And you can see the different paths. We all need to read this book. All the books, okay? But this one, you must read. Who Will Bury You by Chidom Chemwa. She is Zimbabwean. I'm telling you. Well, I mean, you ask yourself these questions, but particularly when you're abroad, these are thoughts that keep you up at night. I'm telling you. Things you don't think about when you're getting on that plane. We Need New Names by No Violet Bulawayo. This is a good one. I've been trying to get my friends so that we can talk about it. We just haven't gotten around to it. I would love a book-centered episode on this book. Oops, my books are falling here. This was another book-centered episode that I did because this is the book that inspired me to even gave me the courage to start the podcast. I had been thinking about it for years, and then I read this book. I found parts of my life in this book. I was like, that is me, and that is me, and that is me. And that braiding shop, I think that's Alima's braiding shop in Philadelphia. Literally. So good. And I met her, by the way. I met her and she signed my books. Some guys, I have a few signed copies here. Where? Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So these are not the only books I've shared, but since it's Africa Day, like I said, I have a few others by different authors from other countries. And then this is just a collection I've had maybe in the last month or two. This is Lonely Crowds by Stephanie Wambuga, and she is from Kenya, Nairobi. The History of Difficult Children by Merit Sibat, and she is from Ethiopia. The Fisherman by Chingozi Obiama. Oh, this book. We had a wonderful, I've had 2 reviews with him so far. This one and the other one called The Road to My Country. We just had this in March, I believe. Wonderful book. This I've read. These 2 I haven't read yet. An African Abroad. The title and the color got my attention. I'm like, oh, for sure, this will align with the podcast. So this is by Olabisi Ajala. He was the original author, and I believe he's late. So the second edition was prefaced by, let me see, I believe Kola Tobusan. He's Nigerian too. Yeah. Actually, I listened to him on a podcast. That's what led me to this book. And when I saw it, the colors, everything, I'm like, yeah, okay. I hope it's as interesting as it looks. This is Theft. And this is by Abdurazak Guna. I hope I'm saying that right. I read Afterlives and it was good. So I'm looking forward to this when I have time because there's no audible version. And I'm always like, oh, where is the audible version? And this is by Kapala Mochalimba. He is Zambian. So just from the title, Diaspora Americana, you already know. It's going to be a podcast recommendation. And this is, well, I've also really been trying to make an effort to grow my Zambian list. So this is one book I had to buy brand new because I could only get it from Zambia. Yeah. So even if the stars should fall, Natasha Omokodian, she is half Zambian, half Nigerian, I believe. And this was an Africana Woman Book Club pick. Not last month, but last month. So I'm behind because I thought I'd catch up this month and I haven't. So hopefully I'll catch up next month. But I know next month is already packed. I don't think I'll be able to squeeze it in. I just need a clean moment to read this book. These letters end these letters end in tears. She is from Cameroon. That's Musi Teji. Oh, I'm not even going to say the last name as well. But she is from Cameroon. This is a wonderful book. This would be good like for Pride Month, like in June. Yeah. This is another Zambian book and it's called The Ghosts Came to Dinner and Never Left. And it's by Keith Hamsute. Hamusute. I can't tell. Usually I can pick out Zambian names and pronounce them right, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm butchering that. But he is Zambian. We were there's a month we decided we're going to pick a Zambian book. So that's how I discovered a few of these books. And I bought it. We picked this one. This was the pick, but I bought this one because someone recommended it as well. This too, A Carrier of Hope by Beno Sinyangwe. I had a podcast guest. If you guys remember, Jerome Muteng. Wonderful. He has a podcast too called 50 Things That Define Zambia. He's the one who recommended to me about this author. He is Zambian as well. Open Water by Caleb. He is Ghanaian. Yeah, Ghanaian British, something like that. Yeah. So looking forward to that as well. Gather Me, this I already listened to on Audible, and I met Glory Edim last month. She was moderating with Marisa. I went for Marisa's book review. She writes on grief, and she was moderating. So I got a chance to meet her. Yeah. And the last one is The First Wife, A Tale of Polygamy, and this by Paulina, and she is from Mozambique. I know there's always World Book Day, World Reading Day, World Literary Day, and listen, I can't keep up. So today felt right to me. Happy Africa Day, Happy Africa Freedom Day, celebrating African stories, African voices, and the books that help give language to so much of what we carry. All right. Have a lovely week. Bye. And until the next time, do take care.